Altering the decision made at the conclusion of the May 25 protest, the United Opposition decided that the next action will be held on June 2nd, as the originally selected May 31 coincides with Laylat al-Qadar, followed by Children's Day. In her report, General Prosecutor Arta Marcu said that vetting has had a negative impact on prosecutors, adding that the General Prosecution is cooperating in order to make progress with justice reform. All overdue debts due to the reimbursement of VAT to textile businesses will be zeroed at the end of June. Finance Minister Anila Denai suggested that after July, there will be a stabilisation of reimbursement payments. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 27th of May, 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to RTV Ora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The opposition has changed the date of the next national protest. In a message from the Secretary-General of the Democratic Party, Gazmend Bardhi, to all the leading structures of the Democratic Party, it was said, given the fact that May 31 is the Laylat al-Qadar Day for Muslim believers, and given that June 1 is International Children's Day, the next national protest will be held on the 2nd of June 2019 at 7 p.m. in front of the Prime Ministry. On Sunday, Prime Minister Edi Rama also announced the postponement of the commencement of the electoral campaign until June 1 because it originally coincided with the date set by the opposition for the protest. Vetting has had a negative impact on the work of prosecutors. Arta Marcu, the General Prosecutor, declared this sentiment during a reporting at a hearing in the Law Commission, headed by the Chair Ulsi Manya. 2018 was an unusual year for all prosecutors and judges. The vetting process started and many prosecutors have been spending all their time in correspondence with the Independent Qualification Commission. There have been many dismissals of prosecutors, which mean prosecutors have been a little apathetic because inevitably this process has negatively affected them, making them feel underconfident. Although all of us here have agreed that the reform should be happening and that vetting is inevitable, the consequences in the current moment are these, said Arta Marcu. There is also a noticeable decrease in the number of cases that have been initiated by the prosecution themselves when comparing with the year 2017, but Marcu did not accept this. There is a slight decrease in the total number of materials that have been dealt with by the prosecution, but it cannot be said in any way that this is an indicator of a decline in the work of the prosecution. The prosecution is an institution that does not work alone, and only a low number of cases are actually registered by its own initiative. The majority are and have always been as a result of referrals from police and different institutions, said Marcu. The largest number of proceedings were registered by the prosecution in Tirana, with 31% of the total caseload. The General Prosecutor, Arta Marcu, was also questioned regarding File 339 and File 184. In the Law Commission, Marcu responded by saying the files have problems and, as such, she has requested for work to be done quickly in order to reach decisions on these files that have sent shockwaves through the world of Albanian politics. When there is a problem, the files drag on and are left unattended. There are wiretappings of many phone numbers which are still not transcribed, and if they are not transcribed, they are unusable. Currently, these cases are given all the importance. File 339 is being investigated by a group of 2 prosecutors and 11 judicial police officers. There are 700 audio and video files that have not yet been transcribed, and they are working on it. I assure you that soon there will be decision-making. File 184 is in the same situation. There are registered wiretappings without any investigative action. After 2 years, only the names of the persons under investigation have been registered. There is a prosecutor who is investigating and clarifying the transcripts, and I believe there will be a decision made quickly. I've asked the prosecutors to quickly investigate without compromising on quality or decision-making processes for files that have shocked Albanian politics, concluded Prosecutor Marcu. Insurance companies have considerably increased payouts for accidents during 2018. The Director of the Supervisory Authority, during reporting to the Economy Commission, stated that during 2018, companies paid over 1 billion lek over the full year, compared to about 200 million lek in the first months of 2019. Director of the Financial Supervisory Authority, Ervin Kochi, in reporting to the Economy Committee, also stated that there was an improvement in the report of the damages to premium ratio, which for the first time reached 42%. We conduct inspections every 3 months in every society to see the progress of payments and any delay that can be solved by insurance companies. Even for the first quarter, the figure paid out by the entire insurance market was about 2 billion lek. Even companies have realised that this is their responsibility, that payment of damages increases confidence in the market, explained Ervin Kochi. The Economy Committee appreciated the work of the Financial Supervisory Authority while looking for more attention on consumer protection. We will hold more frequent meetings so that the main issues, especially those of life, voluntary pension, capital market, move a bit faster, said Arben Ahmetai. Soon, the Financial Supervisory Authority will monitor the whole process of paying out damages to customers, ensuring transparency throughout every phase of the process. $6.7 billion lek worth of debt has been collected by the General Directorate of Taxation in the first 4 months of this year. According to the data of the General Directorate of Taxation, the businesses have been notified earlier and the receivables have been increased by 10% when compared to the same period of the previous year. The increase is also attributed to the forced collection techniques used to recover the debts in the year 2019. During January to April 2019, 7.6 billion lek in tax debt was collected compared to the same period of 2018 when 5.4 billion lek was collected. To improve the situation, the Tax Administration increased the level of information provided to taxpayers through various channels of communication, such as regarding deadlines, repayment methods and the awareness of austerity measures. From the data, it resulted that during April, 39% more unpaid liabilities were collected. In figures, April 2019 saw a value of 2.6 billion lek recovered. In 2018, the total debt that businesses owed to the Tax Administration reached the value of 107 billion lek. According to the Monetary Fund, the collection of tax liabilities remains a problem for the fact that most of the businesses now hold a passive status. $14.9 billion lek in liabilities that the state owes to the textile industry collectors and exporters will be zeroed out at the end of June. Finance Minister Anila Denai announced the launch of the VAT refund during a visit to a textiles business. According to her, during July, a stabilisation of reimbursements is expected. In these 5 months, we have paid $12 million more than the 5 months of 2018. I believe that by the end of June, we will have closed all the delays for the textiles industry, collectors and exporters, as we provided VAT payments with priority for each of these industries, for all monitored businesses and from the central level of ministry. In just the first months of 2019, approximately $12 million was paid, or 28% more reimbursements than the same period last year. Arba Kokolari has become the first Albanian to receive a mandate within the European Parliament. The new politician is part of the Moderate Party, which won 17.6% of the votes, thus receiving 4 MEPs, including Kokolari. During the campaign, she promised to be a strong voice for Albania's integration into the European Union. With this motto, she sought the vote of Albanians living in Sweden. Born in Tirana on the 27th of November 1986, she has held the post of International Party Secretary for the party with which she has prescribed and where she has been very active. She has studied in the area of international law and European politics at the University of Stockholm. The Albanian-Swedish politician from Gjirokastra emigrated to Sweden in 1992 when her father was appointed as ambassador of Albania to the Northern Baltic countries. She's also the grandniece of Musine Kokolari. The most recent elections for the European Parliament saw many Albanian candidates running from countries such as Greece, Italy and Belgium, as well as Sweden. Albania has seen an increase in infant and perinatal mortality. Over the past year, about 9 babies died out of every 1,000 live births, while in 2017 the rate was 8 babies per 1,000 births. Factors of this phenomenon are related to illnesses occurring during the natal period, as well as complications during and after pregnancy, with gynecologists appealing for more patient care. Instat reported that during 2018, the number of babies born was 6% lower than a year earlier. This phenomenon, according to Dr. Max Johnny, has been occurring since the 1990s. According to Eurostat, Albania has the lowest birth rate in the region after North Macedonia. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and good night.